Yuji and Higuruma have officially landed on the battlefield, and they are taking Sukuna to court. Chapter 238 of Jujutsu Kaisen has officially landed. Unfortunately, Kashimo did just eat shit, and I don't really want to talk about Kashimo's fight, because I will not lie to you, I was disappointed. I was hyping that man up, and he didn't show off more than what I thought he was going to show us for this actual technique here, but that still wouldn't disappoint me as much as you not subscribe to this channel and join the big PP gang. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Sort it out. Kashimo did just get his ass whooped by the big beaver boy Sukuna here, and I mean literally, this man got ura'd into oblivion by Sukuna. Literally, this man was using Kashimo as a speed bag. But Kashimo's fight being over so quick isn't really the main focus of the chapter. No. This chapter provided us with perhaps one of the most in-depth details and looks into Sukuna's characters that we've had within the series so far. Starting off with the narrator giving us an insight into his transformation and explaining how Sukuna being able to use hand signs and being able to chant incantations while still being able to fight as a sorcerer, there is no greater advantage than having twice the number of arms and mouths.
That's what she said.
And although Sukuna's form takes on this dysplastic form, not a single one of his bodily functions are hindered. I'm a dumbass, so I had to Google what the word dysplastic meant. The word dysplastic means that moles look abnormal, but they are not cancerous. You are most likely to develop dysplastic navi, I hope that's how you pronounce that, if you are fair-skinned, especially if you've been exposed to significant sunshine. It's also possible to inherit the potential to develop dysplastic navi from your parents. Or, alternatively, Wikipedia informs us that this is basically an abnormal growth in your body, which in Sukuna's case would be the case of, you know, that huge creepy man mouth on his stomach. This shit was really fucking creepy, and he keeps smiling throughout the fight as well. It's really fucking weird. But the narrator continues to give us lore on Sukuna's previous exploits, and it was in this form that, wielding the pair of case tools Kamutoke and Hiten, that Sukuna annihilated the elite celestial squad and the 5 void generals who served under the Fujiwara's Hokage branch. I hope I haven't butchered any of those, but those names should sound familiar because, you know, you've heard them before. Both Uro and Yorozu have previous connections with the Celestial Squad and the 5 Void Generals, and the Fujiwaras is some who Uro also thought Yuta might have been related to during their fight. But the narrator continues to say Sukuna also repelled the forces of the Abe clan's Decision Squad, including Angel and remnants of the Sugawara clan, which is even more lore. Angel has previously fought Sukuna with her squad of the Decision and remnants of the Sugawara clan, and again, if those sound familiar, it absolutely should, because Michizane Sugawara was one of the big 3 vengeful cases that Yuta and Gojo are both descendants of, and Angel already had pre-existing knowledge and was calling Sukuna the disgraced one, and even referred to a god at some point. So I wonder if we will get more mythological lore or more in-world Jujutsu on this. But the wording here is different. Sukuna managed to repel, not annihilate, which I think is a nice choice of words here, considering the power that Angel holds, and also the power that of the recent descendants of the Sugawara clan also hold, Yuta and Gojo both being powerhouses in their own rights. I think it's easy to assume that this might have been a very hard fight for him, and I'm going to stand corrected, because previously I was saying that Gojo has given Sukuna his toughest fight to date, but I would probably be more in line to say at that point in the Heian era, if you had someone from the Sugawara clan, Angel, and others all attacking you all at once, I can imagine that being a pretty hard fight here. But after this, it's basically just Sukuna beating the ever-loving brakes off of Kashimo here, all while Kashimo can't help but fall in love with this man. And Sukuna does end up launching the same attack that killed Gojo at Kashimo, with Kashimo even recognizing this and managing to get out of the way, with Sukuna literally saying, dodge this. But this is where Sukuna monologues about Yorozu and how Yorozu tried to teach him about love and how he lives in a peerless world, then going on to say how she should have taught that to Gojo and Kashimo instead, which gives a whole new light from this panel, from Yorozu's fight with Sukuna and him smiling after her preaching about teaching him about love. But Sukuna then goes on to say to Kashimo, you know the answer you seek, you just can't comprehend it, right? Then going on to call Kashimo strong, right before literally blitzing this man into oblivion, like straight up skullfucking this dude with Kamatoke, and then proceeding to turn this dude into a fucking waffle. But here and now is where the chapter starts to really ramp up the Sukuna lore and insight here. It's where we get into the meat and potatoes of Sukuna's character and his lore and what he's about. And the next 4 pages have given us more Sukuna lore than the whole series has, which I think is kind of funny. I'm sure many warriors have given their heart and soul challenging you. They weren't doing so to curse you, they simply wanted to be recognized, to be validate who they thought themselves themselves to be. You met their eyes in response and slaughtered them. You earlier asked how I could possibly connect with and love those beneath me. Well, if that isn't love, then I don't know what is. We are loved because we are strong. We simply respond to that love in kind. And those couple of sentences really just detail just how human and also how far removed from humanity Sukuna actually is. These words also apply to Gojo, and it starts to give all the stronger characters within the series a new sort of light shined on them, especially when this is coming from the literal pinnacle of strength. With him being loved because, with Gojo being loved because his strength allowed him to protect the people around him. Protect. I mean, he hasn't really done a good job of that, but let's see the note there. But one day in the future, I would genuinely really love to dive into all of this, but for the sake of time, keeping within this video, I will keep it short. Didn't mean that. But Sukuna here in this moment reminds me of an enlightened Miyamoto Musashi, someone who's well-traveled and at the top, someone who is invincible under the sun, but obviously a little bit more evil and, you know, eats kids type of evil and has a smiling weird man mouth on his belly button. Yeah, he's kind of fucking weird, isn't he, really, when I think about it, actually. But Sukuna goes on to say that love is worthless. The thought of needing someone else to fulfill him never crossed his mind. If I want to eat, I eat. If I see an eyesore, I kill it. If it entertains me, I throw it a bone. I live according to my own stature, and if that can't be measured or understood, that's not my problem. This man literally, truly does exist, and he does whatever the fuck he wants when he wants, and it still doesn't explain the mystery of how he got to this point. Honestly, I'm not even genuinely sure if I care about his birth or his origins. I just want to know how he got to being a regular human to this. I need those dots connected. I at least something to give us like a bone on how he got there, even if it's not fully explained. It's left ambiguous, kind of like the Souls thing. I think I could be okay with it because then it leaves it open for theory crafting. But good lord, this dude has a lot of lore behind him. But Kashimo goes on to smile and says how it sounds like Sukuna had his fill, with Sukuna straight up looking at Kashimo as if he's a damn fucking Happy Meal with a toy inside him and saying, surprisingly, the flavors of humans are as diverse as they are fleeting. Perfect thing to slip up to pass time until I die. Now, this is totally headcanon, but I absolutely think Sukuna ate Kashimo's body. Like, he was literally just cut up into smaller, bite-sized Kashimo chunks, and also, we didn't even get to see the body of Kashimo afterwards, after this big waffle slicer attack hit him. But it's okay. There is no time to absolutely dwell on that at all, because Yuji and Higuruma have officially arrived on the battlefield, along with Uraume and Hikari dropping down from Hikari's domain, with Hikari and Uraume both looking very undamaged, might I add. But Yuji and Higuruma, yeah, that's the one I want to talk about, because this fight is going to blow your mind. It's going to blow my mind, and it's going to give us the biggest insight into the Heian era for Sukuna, and is most likely going to be Yuji's history and give us that origin story, potentially, because you see, Higuruma's domain enforces non-violence. It's a court case, it's a trial, and forcing Sukuna to take the stand, by the way, that is absolutely funny idea to me. Having the idea of Sukuna, this 10-foot, four-armed, two-faced monolith Goliath being behemoth bro man dude sitting on a trial and being interviewed by a scrawny little lawyer like Higuruma is just that shit. It makes me smile. But having Sukuna stand on trial with Yuji as witnesses might be possibly one of the coolest sequences that I can think Gege could come up with, and I'm gonna be very, very honest when I say to you, this could be a peak moment for me in the series. I think this, what is about to happen, could potentially top all of the other moments within the series, because the last time Higuruma was on the panels, him and Yuji delivered us one of the best Yuji moments, and personally a favorite fight of mine. But Yuji's moment within that fight with him and Higuruma, and him admitting to the genocide within Shibuya, and him realizing, and Higuruma realizing that he wasn't really in control of his actions, it hit so much different for me. I think it was a major character growth segment for Yuji right there, and it also gave birth to one of the best memes within Jujutsu Kaisen fandom right there. I am absolutely certain that this fight will change the course of the entire battle. I know I've said this now for the past couple of fights, and I know those predictions have gone out the window. That's okay. We like to take L's on this channel. I'm just collecting L's on the channel like Thanos collecting Infinity Gems. It's all good. It is what it is. But on top of that, Yuji's technique now seems to have manifested, and if you haven't already, I highly suggest you go and check out the video that I made on this a couple of days ago, going over all sorts of theories about this, and we really get into the crackpot type of shit. Man, JJK he's been cooking. He really fucking cooked with this chapter. Like, seriously, it feels as if we are truly entering the final boss for Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if we got our final arc arc announcement soon, and there's still a lot of fights left. There's still a lot of shit to cover left within the series. We've got Kenjaku's plans. They're still in motion. Everything's still up in the air right now. We've still got to get Yuta vs Kenjaku out the way. We've got to get Yuji's origins out the way. Maybe a conversation between Yuji and Kenjaku. The Sukuna's fucking death out the way. We've got to get a lot out the way and resolved so far, but hopefully we can get that all soon. I'm very, very excited for the future of Jujutsu Kaisen. But that is everything from me. Gege has truly been cooking, and he's delivered us a lot to theorize. And unfortunately, we are on a break, but we've got a lot to mull over this break for absolutely sure. So if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, I will catch you guys all in the next one. Much love. Big kisses. Peace.